Alright, let's be honest with ourselves. You're looking at an E60 M5, aren't you? I get it. I really do. That naturally aspirated 5.0-liter V10, screaming to an 8,250 RPM redline, putting out 507 horsepower. No turbos muffling the symphony, just 10 cylinders singing their heart out. It's a proper supercar engine stuffed into a four-door sedan, a true beast that still turns, heads and drops jaws. It's a piece of BMW M history, the last hurrah for a certain kind of high-revving, atmospheric performance that just doesn't exist anymore in new cars. The allure of the E60 M5 isn't just about its impressive specifications. It's about a visceral, emotional connection to a dying breed of engine. This car, with its high-revving, naturally aspirated V10, stands as a unique offering in a world increasingly dominated by turbocharged V8 South and V6 South. Owners often express that the fun factor of this V10 is absolutely worth it, if they can manage the upkeep. This deep emotional pull is precisely what allows many enthusiasts to overlook, or at least tolerate, the significant financial pain that comes with ownership. The car's scarcity and unique character elevate its perceived value far beyond simple cost-benefit analysis, creating a powerful emotional justification for what is, by all rational measures, a financially demanding vehicle. Now, let's wipe that drool off your chin and get real. You've seen these things for sale, right? Prices have plummeted. What was once a nearly $100,000 car, when new can now be had for a fraction of that, sometimes as low as £10,000 in the UK. That's the trap. That's where guys like us, who appreciate a bargain, get into trouble. Because while the purchase price might be affordable now, the cost of ownership is still very much in the six-figure supercar realm. This isn't a cheap car to run, not by a long shot. It's like buying a retired racehorse. It's cheap to acquire, but the feed, the vet, bills, the specialized farrier, that's where your real money goes. This dramatic drop in market value, often referred to as the depreciation deception, creates a false sense of affordability. The E60 M5, having depreciated by as much as 75% from its original list price, appears to be an attainable dream car. However, the cost of specialized parts and labor for a high-performance V10 engine and its complex associated systems does not depreciate at the same rate. These components remain priced as if they were for a new $100,000 luxury performance vehicle. Consequently, any initial savings from the low purchase price are quickly, and often dramatically, offset by a continuous stream of expensive maintenance and repair bills. Owners have reported spending more on maintenance in 2 years than the car was worth, or even $15,000 in the first few weeks of ownership for preventative measures alone. This fundamental mismatch between the acquisition cost and the operational cost is a primary reason why owning an E60 M5 can be such a financial burden. It lures buyers who are unprepared for the true financial commitment, leading to frustration and, in many cases, inadequate maintenance, which further perpetuates the car's reputation for unreliability. Let's cut right to the chase, because this is the big one, the boogeyman under the bed for every S85 owner. We're talking about the rod bearings. If you own an S85, or you're thinking about it, you will deal with these. It's not a question of if, but when. Why, they're a ticking time bomb. See, BMW designed this S85 engine and its V8 sibling, the S65, from their F1 racing program. That sounds cool, right? But for a street car, they made some economic choices. They swapped out exotic stuff like titanium rods for forged steel, but kept the rods extra narrow and used thinner crankshaft and rod bearings with ridiculously tight clearances 0.001 inches, when the industry standard is more like 0.0025. This tight clearance means there's just not enough room for proper oil lubrication, especially when that oil isn't fully up to temperature. Plus, the side clearance for the crank journals is too narrow, which restricts expansion when things get hot, leading to heat discoloration and wear on the bearings. Then there's the oil itself. These engines were designed for older, high ZDDP, zinc dialkyl-dithiafasp content oils, meeting a PISL standards. Modern oils have less ZDP, and BMW's original long oil change intervals, 8K miles, were simply too long for these high-performance, tight-tolerance engines. The oil would break down, losing its lubricating properties, and combined with fuel and vapor contaminants, it just starved those already tight bearings. This isn't just a wear item. It's a systemic design compromise that makes rod bearing failure a near certainty for owners. The symptoms are often subtle until it's too late. There aren't many clear warning signs before a catastrophic failure, like an audible rod knock that signals severe damage. If you hear that, you've likely already destroyed the engine. The best preventative measure is to replace them every 60,000 to 100,000 miles, or even sooner. This job is a major undertaking, requiring the removal of the oil pan, subframe, and front suspension. It's definitely not a driveway DIY for the average hobbyist. Parts alone for an upgraded set of bearings can run you over $700, but the labor for this involved procedure can easily push the total cost into the thousands, often cited as $3,000 to $4,000. Some specialists even recommend removing the engine and regrinding the crankshaft for proper clearance, which is even more cost-prohibitive but offers the best longevity. This constant threat of engine destruction and the high cost of mitigating it is a massive headache. Beyond the rod bearings, the S85 engine's VANOS, variable valve timing system, is another notorious money pit. This system, crucial for the engine's high revving performance, relies on high oil pressure. Common failure points include the high-pressure VANOS oil pump and its associated oil line, especially on pre-2007 models. The VANOS solenoids are also known to fail, though a revised part was introduced in 2008. What makes this particularly nasty is the interconnectedness of the engine's issues. If your rod bearings start to wear, the metal bits can shave off and find their way into the oil pan, and then directly into the VANOS oil pump. As you can imagine, oil pumps don't particularly enjoy pumping metal fragments, leading to further damage and potential catastrophic failure of the VANOS system. Replacing these components can be expensive. The VANOS oil line is often replaced during a rod bearing service, and the pump itself can be a significant cost, particularly on earlier models. This compounding nature of the problems means that one failure can quickly lead to another, creating a cascade of expensive repairs that drain your bank account even faster. You're cruising along, enjoying that V10 howl, and then suddenly, bam! Limp mode, reduced power, check engine light. Chances are, you've just been introduced to a failed throttle actuator. The S85 V10 uses two of these, one for each bank of cylinders, and their internal gears are prone to failure. This is an incredibly common issue for these cars. The cost to replace these isn't trivial. A single OEM VDO throttle body actuator can run you nearly $800. Since you generally replace them in pairs, you're looking at around $1,600 in parts alone. Labor adds significantly to this, with total replacement costs often ranging from $1,178 to $1,408, or even up to $4,000 at a dealer for both, including reprogramming. The good news, if you can call it that, is that there are uprated aftermarket units available with lifetime warranties, which can provide some peace of mind for around $850 a pair. However, this is still a predictable electronic mechanical failure that will inevitably add to the recurring maintenance burden of owning this car. the S85 engine also has its share of fuel system quirks that can lead to big problems. Issues with the fuel filter and pump can cause injectors to stick open, potentially leading to engine hydrolocking. Beyond that, the engine's design and significant oil consumption contribute to carbon buildup on the piston crowns. These carbon deposits can create hot spots in the combustion chamber, leading to pre-ignition, where the fuel-air mixture ignites before the spark plug fires. This causes the engine's computer to pull timing, resulting in a noticeable reduction in power. To mitigate these issues, routine use of fuel system cleaners like seafoam is recommended to help keep carbon buildup at bay. This highlights that owning an E60 M5 requires proactive and consistent maintenance beyond standard service intervals. Ignoring these seemingly minor issues can lead to more severe engine damage and even more expensive repairs down the line. It's not just about fixing things when they break. It's about constantly trying to prevent them from breaking in the first place. Don't be surprised if your E60 M5 seems to have an insatiable thirst for oil. The S85 V10 consumes a fair amount of oil, which means it finds its way into the combustion chamber to be burned and carbonized. Additionally, oil vapor from the valve cover and crankcase is recovered into the intake manifolds for emissions purposes, further contributing to the combustion process and carbon buildup. This isn't just a minor inconvenience or an added consumable cost. It's a symptom of a high-performance engine operating at its limits. The oil consumption directly contributes to issues like carbon buildup and pre-ignition, creating a cycle of problems that requires constant monitoring and intervention. You'll be checking and topping off your oil more frequently than you might expect for a modern car. As a high-performance engine that's now 15 to 20 years old, the S85 is particularly susceptible to the degradation of rubber and rubber-like components. Gaskets, O-rings, and hoses are all prone to wearing down and cracking simply due to age and the high temperatures they operate under. Regardless of mileage, these might seem like minor issues, but in a complex engine bay like the S85's, even a small leak can lead to bigger problems and expensive repairs due to the labor involved in accessing and replacing components. For example, a breaking rubber seal can lead to headlamp failure. These minor failures become significant due to the engine's complexity and the labor involved in accessing components. It's a constant battle against time and heat, and your wallet will feel every skirmish. If the S85 V10 is the heart of the E60 M5, the SMG3 sequential manual gearbox is its Achilles heel. This automated manual transmission, while cutting edge for its time, is notoriously complex and prone to irregular, unpredictable failures. Many owners and experts consider it garbage and noticeably slower and more sluggish compared to BMW's later DCT dual-clutch transmission. Its unreliability has significantly contributed to the E60 M5's overall reputation for high maintenance costs. This isn't just about a rough shift. It's about a technologically obsolete system that is a major source of frustration and expense. The SMG's inherent complexity means that diagnosing issues can be difficult, and repairs are often a gamble, ranging from a $2 fix to a few thousands. The unpredictability of these failures adds a layer of anxiety to ownership, as you never quite know when the next big bill will hit. The SMG3